Cults are like the Borg from Star Trek. I'm bringing up this analogy because with the Victorian Inquiry into cults and coercive control now underway, as expected, there has been some pushback by certain groups like the Christian lobby who are claiming that this is an attack on religious freedom. But if we compare cults to the Borg, then I think that helps to tease out some of the issues that the inquiry is really trying to draw attention to. So for those of you who aren't Star Trek fans, the Borg is a fictional alien species that is like this massive cube that travels around the universe seeking out new forms that it doesn't just want to conquer, it wants to assimilate. That is, individuals have their autonomy stripped away and are made to be part of the Borg collective. They don't ask to join forces, they say you will be assimilated and resistance is futile. Their brutal attacks make them one of the most feared entities in outer space, which is another reason why they are such a good representative of cults. My daughter's cult leader uses language that is so closely aligned to the Borg that it gives me chills. He tells his members that they need to forsake everything, from their possessions through to their identities and even their own lives, which is quite scary. All individuality is suppressed. And this happens in many other groups as well, where members are coerced into giving up personal freedoms and manipulated into adopting cult personalities. So here's what I call the Borg test for cults. Does the group demand total assimilation? Is personal freedom suppressed in favour of group unity? Are members told that resistance is futile or that questioning or doubting is wrong or even dangerous? Is leaving made almost impossible either through guilt, fear, threats, or social isolation? Does the group claim to be superior to all others, either religiously, morally, politically, spiritually, or some other way or something else? If you're nodding along, then that's a sign that it's a Borg-like group. Now, you could argue that the Borg, as a life form, has the right to exist, which is fair. But their insistence that everyone else must join them and their refusal to let people leave, that's where it crosses the line. The right to exist and have a belief system should not give any group the right to dominate and control others. And it's the same with real-world groups that operate like the Borg. It doesn't matter what ideology they are. When they override individual freedom and use coercive control tactics to retain members, they're not just exercising freedom of religion. They're just dangerous. The goal of the Victorian Inquiry isn't to persecute any faith system, it's to protect individual autonomy and community well-being, because we all have the right to travel around in our little individual universes without fear of Borg-like groups creeping up and trying to assimilate everyone in their path. So if you've been involved in a Borg-like group that has links to Victoria, please consider putting in a submission so as appropriate checks and balances can be put in place to protect everyone. Just as Star Trek teaches that respecting diversity is the cornerstone of galactic peace, I believe that peace on Earth is only possible when religious freedom is balanced with respect for individual autonomy.